Cloud9, 11-4, but dropped 2 games this week. And some of the big games, right? You had the TL Cloud9 game, then TSM Cloud9 game. Both those games kind of big, and probably the best team in North America, but finding trouble against those 2 marquee matchups. What did you think of these 2 games at Cloud9 here in week 5 there, LS?
Cloud9 has all winning laning phases, or like all winning lanes in a vacuum. In a vacuum, they're all winning lanes. And then in addition to that, they have a winning jungle dynamic where Lilia is just inherently better. I mean, Hecarim can go even with her, but if Lilia ever gets ahead, Hecarim can't recover. Or if Hecarim gets ahead, Lilia still has value, right? Because she has E and sleep.
Yeah, I think one thing I want to just add, definitely continue with your point. Yeah. One thing I also just want to add in terms of jungle context is like when you draft Hecarim into Lilia, you need to draft good level 1 around the Hecarim because Hecarim and Rek'Sai have the most exploitable level 1s in the game. I mean, Hecarim takes Ghost, his Q does nothing. They have some of the most exploitable level 1s in the games, and Lilia's level 1 is her biggest strength, right? Like it used to be that every time you get Lilia, people would just Wraith invade, and eventually people got good enough at defending the Wraith invade where it stopped being an every game thing. But if you draft bad level 1 and you have a Hecarim versus Lilia, the Lilia is getting like 3 quadrants or some shit. It's really doomed. So,
Cloud9 were light years ahead in the early stages. I think Blabber at one point was like 3 levels up, right? He was
level 6 to level 3.
Hecarim.
Yes,
level 6 to level 3, and Cloud9 makes 3 really, really, really big blunders in the game. There's the one where they're pushing top 3rd turret plate with bot lane, and both Perks and Fudge are looking for a recall. Like they're both trying to recall, but then they both just stopped abruptly and teleport top lane anyway, and all of Cloud9 just gets killed. Then there's another one where 30 seconds before Dragon, Fudge just randomly decides he has a hot date. He dies, and so TSM gets Dragon. And then there's the Baron play where Crowny was on my stream and he talked about it, like trying to do the Baron, go into the back of the pit, flash out, right? But I was just saying the Baron's not possible because they have both teleports up, right? So you can just accept the fact that they have 2 mountain dragons and then keep just fighting for the later stages of the game. The controversy came in because of what Dom mentioned earlier on, or were we live yet when Dom mentioned this? About like how it's like the streamer fight or something that was going on, where there's people saying that Yasuo, Meteos, and Doublelift are saying that TSM won draft, and then me and Dom are the co-streamers that are saying that Cloud9 won draft, and then obviously I have Nemesis and Crownshot on my stream, who are also sharing in on that sentiment. Now, the thing that's really weird is that the assertion that at least I was told, I don't know about you, Dom, was that apparently no one can protect Caitlyn. That was the comment that I kept hearing. But the reality is Caitlyn's always fighting from an empowered state, right? Because she should just be ahead. Mid lane should just be ahead. Top lane should just be ahead, right? How do you reach Caitlyn at 1.5 items at 3rd Dragon when she has Morgana, Lilia, and Gnar, and Victor? How the fuck are you just bypassing Gravity Field, Chaos Storm, fucking Victor lasers? What the fuck is Caitlyn doing, by the way? With net and traps and flash and whatever else, Black Shield, fucking Morgana R, Morgana... What world are we living in where 1.5 item tank fucking Hecarim, 1 item Mythic Nautilus, one item Renekton just gets to walk past all these champions?
Oh, I mean, also, like, you want to just talk about, like, there's other specifics that go into it. Like, as somebody who plays a lot of Hecarim, there's Gale
so
Force.
Many other specifics, right?
Yeah.
But this is what I mean by the 40-minute thing. I'm not willing to do it today. I honestly will get TOS. The stream will get banned. I'm not willing to do it. The other thing about it is that then, to make matters worse, so obviously TSM wins the game, right? Cloud9 makes super big blunders. As soon as the game became unwinnable, obviously, I mean, on my stream, I mean, I don't know about yours, I'm saying that Cloud9 probably can't recover, right? They can't win because viewing the game in freeze frames, right? Or like stills, like, okay, from this point, it should be unthrowable. So then, so some people flame Nemesis, saying that Nemesis got kicked off Fnatic. Crowny's on the bottom tier LEC team.
Yeah, he's one of the
best. It's really convenient. It's really convenient they leave out the G2 players that were chiming in. And Mickey, who was in the fucking call. Really convenient. that one's just left it, because that one doesn't fit narrative. Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, I
my
don't
mind. I
even
just started messaging so many people. Still, I have not found one. I haven't found one. I'm going to T1 tomorrow. Listen, I'm in the cafeteria. Fucking Teddy or Faker like walks in or something. I got a question that I need to pop. You know what I mean? When they have a seat, like
Yeah.
I have a question, but I have not found one person yet that shares this sentiment. In my belief, is that the only way they arrive at this conclusion is one, NA solo queue. And then two, they don't actually watch high enough level players consistently enough to actually envision what the champion's limitations are and aren't. That's it. That's the only thing I can arrive at, because I cannot envision whatever it is that they're seeing. I don't know why. I don't know.
I mean, we so like I'm not gonna even.
I can say it. I don't know. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna even talk about like appeal to authority. Like if people want to argue, like if Tumblin is like, I have 8 championships, so you can't talk. Like if that's the argument he wants to go for, like whatever, man. Like okay, sure. He definitely is a more accomplished player than I was. But let's just, if we're talking about like the actual game and like we're thinking about it like fucking like human beings, right? Like if you look at a lot of these matchups, Caitlyn Morg just has consistent shove. They have better level 1. We start the game from level 1. Hecarim just starts the game behind because he has 2 losing side lanes. The other thing is like the Gnar Renekton matchup. I think people have like more Renekton, like so.
No, hold on. There's a misconception. There's a misconception in chat right now. I didn't say Doublelift brought us up. I'm saying the people. That was the argument that people were using. Right. Just to clarify, I'm trying. All right, go ahead, Dumb.
Yeah, Jesus. Sure. So like, I mean, but like, let's say that we get into like a situation where we're talking about the game, right? Gnar versus Renekton. I think people have a completely wrong perception of this matchup because they watch North America. When you watch better regions, the Gnar actually just starts hard winning side at level 9, regardless of like if he got dove, if he's behind 20 CS, if he's down, if he has like item components versus a completed item. Like Gnar just starts winning this matchup like level 9 plus. So you're gonna have 2 winning sides, and then you can't even force on the Caitlyn Morg if they were shadowed. To me, the biggest mistake of this entire fucking of this entire game from C9 was the fact that they were so far ahead that I think that they were not fully accounting for everything that could happen to the Kate Morg lane. Like they probably thought that there was no world where they could even get remotely close to being 2v2'd because they were up 5 plates and a completed item. So when they walked up to that top turret, they're doing it like not on their wave timing. Like as a team, you have to synergize when you're actually walking up to hit turret if you're going to play these turret pushing comps. So what you want to do is like, hey, if Blabber needs to back, like Blabber was really far ahead. If he needs to back and get an item, that's completely fine, right? Like you don't have to hit turret on every single wave with Kate Morg. Like you can wait for your jungler to get an item. You can wait for Fudge and Perks to get bases off. They come back to lane, and then when it's your timing again, you walk to the turret, and you have Lilia shadowing you, and then you can never lose that type of fight because the Caitlyn is so far ahead. Also, inherently, Hecarim has less value into Gale Force champions, just because Gale Force is just an inherent counter to Hecarim ulti. The only person that can realistically get to the Caitlyn would be like Renekton with a flank with Prowlers. But I actually think I think Renekton with Prowlers is good into like things like Quinn that are a lot squishier. So when I've watched people try to do this against top level Gnars, like they just don't have enough HP and they get instantly kited by the Gnar. Like they might start a trade with Prowlers, their double dash, whatever, and they might burst off like a solid like 60 to 75% of the Gnar's HP in the side lane. But good Gnar players know that once that Renekton is out of juice completely, you just turn and you chase him all the way the fuck down the lane as Gnar versus Renekton. So I feel like Fudge, when he was behind, he was like too afraid to actually like take the side lane fights that he will inherently win.
Like Cloud9 pushes that top plate.
Yeah.
Perks is doing wraiths. Fudge is looking for a recall. Perks.
I've got it up right now.
And they just pulled him right up to top lane for a TP. Yeah, this is it. So they pulled him right up to top lane. You look at Fudge, you look at Blabber, you look at Perks. Why did they push 160 gold turret to get 80? And then this happens. Now, there's shutdowns, there's comeback EXP. There's a lot of stuff happening here on the screen. Like that transpires here. At the end of the day, Blabber ends up, he's ruining his pathing now as he's trying to run up to top lane. But then there's the other one where Fudge is just before Dragon. He ends up getting caught and dying. So TSM just gets Mountain for free. But the really weird thing was that one of the assertions, right, was that no one could protect Kate. And yet, even though TSM got bailed out by such completely horrendous mistakes by Cloud9, there was actually several instances where they couldn't reach Caitlyn. in standoff team fights.
Well,
in
here's the other thing is like
they just couldn't reach her. So I don't know. Go. I can't.
Well, what I was gonna say is like this.
Oh,
So
man.
like one of the things I've been like preaching for a while, right? Is like choke control, right? And one of Caitlyn's biggest strengths is choke control. The fact that she can just trap off an entire entrance and you like are no longer allowed to walk through there as a team is fucking OP. Like it's fucking broken. Even if you get into a situation where like a team gets into the river, let's say you control your chokes, then the enemy has to approach from the opposite side of the river. So like you're controlling your red team here from C9, you control the chokes near like enemy blue rates, and then blue has to contest from bot side into drag. You can then put like 3 traps and even shorten that part of the river. So like you have so much control on the champion, but like no one controls chokes anyway with any of these broken abilities. So like you don't even get to see them put into a state where they automatically win. Like what should happen in a game like this when they're this far ahead is that they should just be first on every single objective. As long as they're first on objective, they're timing Mega Gnar, they're making sure that they're able to fight. Like C9 is ahead, they go to objectives, they start trapping it up, and it should look so hard for TSM to get into the river. Like they get into the river, they're getting Victor laser, they're having to step on a trap. One of the tanks steps on a trap, like he gets headshot for like 600. Like there's so much damage you can
they can't
do.
Yeah,
here.
they can't reach Kate.
Hey, thanks so much for watching VENN Esports. Make sure you hit that subscribe button below and explore other videos. In fact, click the ones on the screen right now. Works better than trying to click on my shoes to get them. You can't.